Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I'm going over a recent piece I read from the Larry J. Sabato Crystal Ball Center for Politics that I thought was really interesting. And this is going over the 2020 Georgia Senate race and why they believe that there will not be a split ticket voting for the state of Georgia. So the main reason that Georgia will not be a split vote is the history of split ticket voting. Now, for anyone who's not familiar, split ticket voting means this is where there's two races going on at the same time for a same position. Like in Georgia, there's two Senate races up in the special election, and that means one seat goes to one party and the other seat goes to the different party. So, in this case, the two popular parties, the Republicans and Democratic Party, both win one of these seats. That would be considered a split ticket voting or a split ticket. However, as this article details, this is not a very popular occurrence in special election split ticket voting. The last time this happened, where there were two races on the ballot at the same time, and one of the races went to the different party than the other, was actually 1966. So, historical analysis definitely shows that it's more likely than not that whichever party wins one race is more than likely to win the other race as well. Now, this also plays into an interesting fact that on the election night in November 3rd is that the Democrats in the special election, that is Ralph Warnock versus Kelly Loeffler, actually overperformed John Ossoff against David Perdue. Now, there could be a few reasons for this. Some of the ones I think is Raphael Warnock was the strong Democratic candidate in the special election. He was the main candidate that most of the Democrats are going to vote for. And most of the special election primary vote was Kelly Loeffler versus Doug Collins, kind of fighting it out for which Republican will win. So the Democrats are pretty much coalesced around one candidate. Also, John Ossoff was going up against David Perdue, who is more popular than Kelly Loeffler is. David Perdue is more popular in their state than President Trump is as well. And I can say after the last month or so, he's definitely more popular than Brian Kemp. So David Perdue is probably one of the most popular Republicans in the state of Georgia at this time. Also, is a lot of people forget that since Perdue did not get 50%, they're going on to a runoff election, but there was a libertarian candidate that prevented David Perdue from getting 50% of the vote. That candidate took about close to 3% of the vote away from Perdue and Ossoff. And I have no doubt in my mind if that libertarian candidate is not on the ballot, David Perdue does win this race outright. But I think John Ossoff's percentage is probably a little bit higher. Like John Ossoff, well, he's at 47.9. That's what he got. He would definitely break 48%, no doubt. But so the libertarian candidate could have played an effect as well. But the simple fact is, the Democrats did overperform in the special election than John Ossoff did. And what's really important is the Democrats overperformed in the Atlanta area and the Atlanta surrounding suburbs in the special election. John Ossoff, I've always said, in my opinion, of these two elections, I think David Perdue versus John Ossoff will be less competitive than the special election. I think David Perdue is more likely to beat John Ossoff. And I also think that John Ossoff, he just doesn't drive enough voter enthusiasm and turnout as, say, Raphael Warnock. And this is shown, this is my opinion, this is shown in fact and numbers by the election. The Democrats in the special elections overperformed John Ossoff, who was the one Democratic candidate. He didn't have to worry about all the other Democrats in that race. John Ossoff underperformed in Atlanta compared to Raphael Warnock. And this is important because, as I just mentioned above, that split ticking is not very popular, or not very popular in how many times it's happened historically. It's more than likely or not, if the Democrats are going to want to win, they're going to have to win both of these races. Now, I'm dogging on Ossoff because I think he is the popularity-wise lesser of the two candidates. Both of them can win, by the way. 100% Warnock and Ossoff could definitely win. I'm just stating the fact that Ossoff did underperform on election night. I know a lot of people in Georgia are talking about, well, Joe Biden beat President Trump. Yes, but when you look at the Senate races, David Perdue, mathematically, and Kelly Loeffler both technically won in these ways. David Perdue got more votes than President Trump and John Ossoff. And if you count up all the Republican votes and all the Democratic votes, there were more Republican votes in the special election than Democratic votes. So if you look at it that way, technically the Republicans won both of those races if there wasn't a 50% needed rule for one candidate. But that's not really too important for the argument I'm making, but it kind of is too. That this is why we're seeing such a heavy investment by both parties, is whoever gets the higher turnout will win these races. And it's without saying that in this highly polarized election and highly polarized election environment, it's probably not going to be a split ticket. There aren't too many moderate Republicans and moderate Democrats out there saying, you know what, I like David Perdue, but I really like Raphael Warnock, or I really like John Ossoff, but I really like Kelly Loeffler. There's not going to be many of those voters. So if Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff have to win, they're going to win as a team. They've been doing a lot of events together. And if Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue win, they're going to win as a team. Both of these two Senate races, I think, are going to be very close and very close to call at this time. I do think Perdue and Loeffler have a very narrow edge at this time, but it's looking more and more likely the closer we get to the election, whichever party wins will win both of these seats. I can't see a split ticket happening right now unless a major scandal is to come out. I think that whichever party wins one of these seats will win the other seat as well. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like this video. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought of the video and what your opinion on this is. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.